words, it's easier than listening. You hit me with that, get off my line, like I ain't even worth your time. Every time I try to speak my truth, you get loud, start changing the mood. You say I'm too deep, but you stay surface. Playing calm when you know you nervous. I ain't caught a fight, I caught a heal, but you don't know what real love feels. You say I always make it a scene, but I'm just saying what I mean. You say I'm sensitive, yeah, maybe so, but at least I still got a heart that shows. Now you're telling me get off my line, that's it be, like that's how I'm supposed to leave. You don't talk it out, you just leave and say, see, you always gotta disagree. Now baby, that's just fear in disguise. You run from truth and call it pride. If I'm too real, then that's fine. Go ahead, get off your line. You love the silence cause it keeps you safe. No accountability and just wait. You don't wanna grow, just wanna win. Say I'm done and spin again. I'm not the villain you pay me to be. I just wanted us to speak honestly, but every time I hold the mirror clear, you shut it down like you can't hear. Same cycle, thick at night. You go to talk but keep the fight. You say I'm the reason for the storm, but you've been raining all along. Telling me get off my line, does it be like love, like maturity? You don't wanna face what's real in me, you just wanna hang up emotionally. So go ahead, hide behind that tone, play tough, act like you grown. But when the quiet hits your mind, you wish I was still on your line.
When the tide pulls back and the wind shifts, Yamaye and Oya, who watches over me in my season, I thought I belonged. Please direct me to my tribe. Ashe and deep bow. Welcome to Blended Healing. Yemaye will stand with you in the deep, not the surface where everybody else can see you, but the place where grief, memory, and truth live together. So when you feel isolated, when you feel like you've been pushed out of different places that once felt like home to you, it wasn't that you were left behind. The tide itself was pulling you away from shores that could no longer hold what you are becoming. The sea doesn't reject what belongs to it. It just moves you gently and repositions you. Even though you may feel lonely, it's especially then when this energy shows up. Oya. Oya moves around when the air is charged and people turn cold. Oya governs the moment when doors slam and the wind start picking up without you even knowing why. If you are being pushed out, sometimes that happens so exposure can happen. It's a clearing. Oya does not remove people easily or nicely. She removes them with honesty and revelation. And what falls away cannot survive where you're going. What judged you before cannot follow you through this change, this metamorphosis that you're going through. Your tribe that you feel is your tribe is not behind you. Let's be real clear about that, because that is very, very important. You are not meant to go backwards to retrieve or go back and get anything you think belongs to you or where you thought you belonged. Your people are ahead of you, already living in the same frequency that you're being trained for right now. They'll recognize you. You will feel your shoulders drop when you're near them. And not that old tight intensity where your shoulders stay lifted, but a release. Your shoulders will relax and your breath will deepen. You're not meant to go backwards to retrieve or get anything you think belongs to you or where you're going. Right now, the instruction is very simple. Stay near the water when you can, even symbolically. Speak your truth out loud when you feel as though nobody is listening. Don't chase the familiar. Let the winds finish clearing out what they started. Don't take these actions against you as personal because it's direction. I want you to say this when it feels like you can't move another step. Please repeat after me if you would like. I am being relocated, not erased. I am being refined, not rejected. My people are finding me as I become visible to myself. Yemaya watches your tears and counts none of them as weakness. Oya sharpens your edges so you don't disappear again inside places that cannot see you. You're not lost. You're in movement. You're in a transition time, and your tribe is closer than it feels. Ashe. When the tide pulls back and the wind shifts, allow me to reintroduce you to Yemaye. She is the mother of the deep, the keeper of origins. Yemaye is one of the great foundational forces within the Orisha pantheon. She is the mother of waters, mostly associated with the ocean, but more accurately, she governs the womb of existence itself, where there is life, gestation, memory, and emotional truth. Yemaye is present. In the pantheon of Orishas, Yemaye represents creation and continuity, emotional intelligence and depth, motherhood in its full spectrum, nurturing, fierce, protective, and corrective, ancestral memory carried through water and blood in the unseen labor of holding life together. Yemaye, she's not a softie, man, in the way that people expect her to be. She's even, she's steady. The ocean feeds, cleanses, and destroys without apology. Her love is so wide, so long, so vast, but it's not careless either. She teaches you how to contain, how to hold grief without drowning, and how to feel deeply without losing yourself. Within this Orisha structure, Yemaye is often understood as the Great Mother, whose children include other Orishas. She's over emotional maturity and reminds human beings that feelings are not a sign of weakness, but unmanaged feeling is. When Yemaye is active in somebody's life, themes of caregiving, loyalty, endurance, grief, and emotional responsibility often surface in the early stages and repeats. She doesn't rush healing. She allows truth to come to the surface in waves. When it comes to Oya, that's the firecracker. She's the wind, the storm, and the gatekeeper of change. She stands very differently in the Orisha pantheon because she is the Orisha of wind, storms, lightning, and radical transition. When Yemaye might be in a holding pattern and embraces as a mother would, Oya kicks in the door and she's there to disrupt things. Oya is over sudden change and irreversible endings. Her truth is revealed through upheaval, death as transformation, not annihilation. Wind, breath, and unseen forces that shift things in your reality. And she is the boundary between worlds. Oya is a gatekeeper. She stands at the door between life and death, past and future, and what was and what cannot remain. She's generally associated with cemeteries, but not as places of fear, but as places of transition and release. Nothing that is stagnant can be in her presence. In the pantheon, Oya is known for her power, her autonomy, and her refusal to be tied down or put in a box. She's not soothing when you're feeling uncomfortable. She ain't that chick. She exposes what cannot endure truth. So you think that you living in truth, she gonna really show if you're living in it or not. And when Oya moves through your life, endings come real quick. That social roles that you play, that fake ass shit that y'all do, it's gonna fall apart and relationships is gonna fracture. Identities, those fake ones, is gonna burn away out of necessity. Oya, she ain't whispering, she clears. Ashe. I'll be right back after this.
You feel that? That's not lust, baby. That's alignment and a little bit of lavender oil. Oh, she don't chase, she conjures, speaks in stars, walks in thunder. Got moonlight in her bones, burning sage while she moans. She got oils on her dress, truth in her tongue. A yes is a blessing and no makes you run. She don't sugarcoat spells, don't whisper soft lies. She'll read you the filth and kiss between sighs. I counsel on the line while you beg for a sign. She's already 3 dreams deep, sipping tea made of time. She got that high priestess trip, that so-much kiss, that full moon flick of the wrist. She don't fake, don't flinch, she divine.
So allow me to reiterate and stop going across the surface of things, the surface of your experience, because what you're in right now is not a phase that's passed by distraction. It's a crossing. Yamaye does not show up when things are light at heart. She shows up when your inner world gets too damn heavy, too heavy enough that pretending becomes impossible. Pain, isolation, and being pushed out of the spaces you invested yourself in is not random, not at all. These are signals that your internal self, your spirit, and your discernment finally all sync up and say, this cannot continue the way it is. That grief that you're carrying isn't only about people, it's about the version of yourself that believed that belonging meant that you can withstand anything because you believed in the group you were in. You believed that if you stayed long enough, showed up undying love, explained yourself enough, someone would finally meet you where you stand. Yemaye holds that grief because it carries weight, history, and honesty. She doesn't rush you out of it. She lets it move through you until it tells you the full truth. And when it comes to isolation, it's containment. It's placing you neatly in a space to hold everything in and to keep others' things out. Because when there are too many voices around you, you can't hear your own internal knowing. When you're always adjusting to fit in, you lose track of where your edges are. The solitude is doing something specific. It's returning your awareness back to your body. Notice how much clearer your reactions are now. Pay attention to how fast your heart speaks, how fast you know when something doesn't feel right. Notice how you'll get invitations, but they no longer feel neutral. You see, the sea teaches boundaries. It pulls back the ebb and the flow. It creates distance. It reminds you that depth requires space. Now, Oya, on the other hand, she isn't coming through the door comforting you. She's going to disrupt everything in the room. She's going to come in like a storm because what's happening is exposure. Even though it may feel like people are talking about you or turning away from you, it's revealing a truth most people don't want to face. Some places only value you as long as you stay useful or agreeable. And when you stop trying to contort or change yourself and start standing in your fullness, the energy changes. Oya governs that moment. The sudden coldness, the unspoken tension, the feeling of being looked through instead of looked at. That happens because the old container cannot survive who you're becoming. Oya is going to clear through rupture. She pulls things apart. She removes the mask, alliances built on convenience, and rooms that depend on yourself silencing. She destroys what has to go because the pain is real. The loss is real, but sometimes that loss is necessary. So understand this. If they could not stand with you during your season of unadulterated truth, they were never meant to walk with you and then into they were not meant to walk into the next year with you. You feel me? Oya does not negotiate with environments that drain your life force. She cuts it clean so the wound can heal instead of festering. Now, when it comes to your tribe, this is where the misunderstanding usually lives. Your tribe is not defined by history, it's defined by internal safety, mutual respect, and shared values that don't require you to perform or act. Your people will not rush you to explain yourself. They will not demand emotional labor for you to prove that you belong. You will feel seen without being taken apart, and conversations will feel a little easier. You don't have to downplay your experiences to keep the peace. That's how you're going to know. You cannot reach your tribe while you're still trying to recover the approval of places that rejected you. You feel me? The longing to be understood by people who already decided not to understand keeps you tied to them behind yourself. Yemaya and Oya work together here. One pulls you inward so you remember who you are. The other pushes you forward so you don't go back out of habit. Your job right now is not to search for the community. It's to become honest enough with yourself that your people can recognize you when you cross paths. This season is teaching you discernment through lived experience. It's showing you what you can tolerate, what spirit refuses to tolerate, and what you're no longer willing to negotiate just to feel included. And when the loneliness spikes, don't rush to fill it. Sit with what it's pointing. Sit with what it's pointing to. And ask yourself, what did I overlook to stay connected? Where did I abandon my own gate, my own discernment to maintain access when I'm finally unwilling to carry for other people? This is relocation of belonging. Your tribe is forming in the direction of your truth. They are living lives that require the version of you that exists after this season, not before it. You're being watched. You're being guarded. You're being redirected with intention. And when you arrive where you're meant to stand, you won't wonder if you belong because you already know. Ashe. All right.
Close, draws you in like midnight gold. A sip of her truth and you'll unfold. God is deep, got soul control. Hey, this is grown folks medicine. Don't play unless you're ready to swim. Deep, real deep. A daily dose of tea. She speaks love fluently. Red wine wisdom with a side of clarity. Come through for your blessing. A daily dose of tea. This ain't lust, it's legacy. Touch your heart, shift your frequency. In the love palace where soul ships realign. Let love dock right here. She don't chase, she attracts. She don't beg, she reflects back. So if you're here, you align now.
This is where spirit speaks. And you finally listen.
So, studio, I don't just drop beats, I move energy. From silence to soul, it's a symphony. Every note, every line carries intention. So work, studio, your heart's ascension. High hats like whispers, 808s like posts. I craft your vision, no need to convulse. From dreams to reality, I manifest. Every song I touch becomes your best. So work, feel it in your chest. Every occasion, I give you my best. R&B track with energy aligned. Soul work, studio, your spirit of mine. Soul work, studio, your spirit of mine.
Make sure you tune into my good sis, Goddess of Love. Will be on later on today at 5:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And don't forget about my good sis down there in the Central South, Alicia Dion. She'll be on. Well, you already missed her today, but you can always go back and catch the replay. She comes on at 8 a.m. Central Standard Time. Ashe? All right. Thank you. And don't forget to subscribe to the rest of the COC movement. Ashe. I hear what you're asking already. How do you know if you are the daughter or the son of Yemaya or Oya? You want to know. All right. Being a son or a daughter of Yemaya or Oya in the traditional sense is being formally confirmed through divination within an Orisha-based lineage, which could be Ifa, Lukumi, Santeria, Candomblé, and so on. And that part matters and should always be said plainly, like for real. But long after initiation, Orishas have often walked with, shaped, and protect people who naturally carry their current. And that's where some of y'all are right now. Recognition, not labels. So what you're really asking is this. How do I know if the energy is woven into me? And that question has answers. Signs that you are a child of Yemaya, if you are. You often live with emotional depth that predates words. From early on, you felt older than your age emotionally. You carried responsibility, grief, or care for others without being asked. You don't just feel, you hold. You hold people's stories, their pain, their secrets, and their endings. Your patterns include a strong pull to water, whether it's ocean, lakes, rain, baths, rivers. Water regulates you. It has a soothing effect on you. Emotional cycles come in tides. Like I told you, the ebb and the flow. You are often the one people come to when they're breaking, even when you're feeling the same way yourself. There is deep loyalty sometimes to your own detriment. Grief that feels deeper than the situation itself, a tendency to mother, protect, or stabilize situations. And you don't even know that you're actually having that effect or you're doing that. Solitude that feels necessary. A strong intuition tied to your body, your chest, your stomach, your womb, your breath. When Yemaye's children are hurt, it's usually from staying too long somewhere, holding too much, loving past the point of reciprocity, and grieving quietly so others don't know that you're drowning. Healing comes when you learn how to contain all of that without erasing yourself. Ashe? All right. Now, how do you know if you're a child of Oya? If you are, you're rarely allowed to be comfortable for long. Your life moves in chapters, abrupt endings, relocations, identity shifts, movement changes, social ruptures that feel unfair at the time, but later then they reveal that it was necessary. She pushes you. Your patterns include sudden losses that force reintervention, being misunderstood, a sharp internal sense of truth, strong reactions to injustice, hypocrisy, or even stagnation, a history of being pushed out right before your power expands, a natural ability to speak, anger that transforms into clarity, comfort with death as transition. You often experience social exile, pressure for you to dim yourself to keep the peace, and rapid awakenings and being blamed for storms you didn't even start, only to be exposed later. The lesson is knowing when to move and when to stand without apologizing for how this is carried. When Yemaye and Oya both show up, right? It's often for people who carry deep emotional intelligence and sharp discernment. They are soft hearted, but they will burn bridges when necessary. They feel torn between staying and leaving. They experience grief and liberation at the same time. They are protectors who eventually learn that boundaries the hard way. They attract both dependence and resistance from others. This right here is your hall pass to understand that you have outgrown certain people and experiences. You are not meant to settle. You are meant to move through spaces and leave when the work is done. So, what do you do next? You don't rush. You don't self initiate. You don't bypass grounding. And what you do instead is observe who keeps showing up in your inner world. Pay attention to your dreams, water, wind, emotional surges, sudden clarity. Speak honestly when your body tightens up. Release the need to be understood by people who already decided against it. You don't need permission to recognize protection. You don't need a title to honor guidance. And you don't need to rush to clarity. It arrives when you're steady enough to carry it. Ashe? All right. I hope that helps answer the question. I know you noticed a poll in the chat. What I'm asking you is, do you want to know more about the Orishas? Do you want me to deep dive more into Yemaye and Oya? Does this type of content interest you? If you do, a simple yes or no is sufficient for me. You feel me? All I wanted you to know today was where that prayer came from. And when the tide pulls back and the wind starts shifting, I want to give you some encouragement today. I'm not keeping you long. That's the encouragement. No, I'm only kidding. I know that sometimes you feel as though being exiled from comfort and feeling abandoned or misunderstood, where your heart once was blooming, and you feel the coldness of the isolation of being iced out. Excuse me, not just around you, but from the inside as well. As though your light has been hidden from you. The season is called the sacred wilderness. That's what we're in right now. And though it hurts right now, this pain is your pathway. You are in the in-between, the space after shedding, but before the rising, where the old has crumbled, but the new hasn't fully revealed itself yet. But here's the thing. The wilderness is where the prophets are made. The abandoned become the anointed. The rejected ones are often the ones that are reborn with fire in their mouths and stars in their blood. This world has a way of casting out the very people, the very souls that will one day need to rebuild it. And you may feel like you're unraveling, being torn asunder, but you're being rewoven into something ancient and powerful. You are the bridge, the medicine. You are of the ancestors who survive worse than who are whispering into your bones. Don't forget who you are when they forget how to see you. I'm here to tell you that you're not being super sensitive. You're not deep. You're not too spiritual. You're not too emotional. You're not too wild. You're precisely being calibrated for your purpose. And people who haven't made peace with their own shadows will always fear you. People who haven't made peace with themselves are those who are going to dance comfortably in theirs. You unsettle what others bury. But you were not born to be small in your walk either, but you were born to shine in your inconvenient truth. You're not alone. Even in your solitude, you're not. You're being watched over by those who walk the same path before you. You're being watched over by those who walk the same path. Oya rides the wind behind you. Yemaye cradles your heart in her ebb and flow of her time. And even when you can't feel them, they're whispering that you are not abandoned. You are becoming sacred. You're not lost. You're being led. And you're not unloved, but being set apart. And as far as you looking for your own tribe, your people exist. They do. The ones who will sit with you, even if y'all ain't even saying nothing to each other when y'all grieving. The one that sees your gifts without needing to understand them, to mirror back your beauty without being envious. And to pray for the rising, even when you're not paying attention. They're looking for you too. So keep becoming, keep walking, keep rising. Sometimes you have to walk alone for a season. So when you find them, you'll know how precious and real that connection is. If you feel you are in the darkness, be still. Be still. Because somewhere deep within you, your soul is still lit. And I say this as a blessing, as a promise. You are not forsaken. You are being forged, and you will emerge with wisdom in all of those battle scars, with thunder in your voice. And when you speak, your tribe will hear it, and they will come. Ashe? All right, Ashe. I'm done. That's it. I'm out of here. I said enough. Please respond to the poll. Please respond to the poll and let me know. All right? All right. Be well, stay safe. Ashe and deep bow to each and every one of you. And I shall see you all very, very soon.
soul shining underneath the moon. No race, no rival, just love we know. COC moving in a sacred flow. Every breath, every touch, every sound lifts us higher when the love comes around. Slow, full, we let it guide us slow. COC together, that's how we grow. No fear, no pressure, just truth we show. Love is the rhythm in the flow. Soft words.
If you only knew, yeah. This isn't about healing wounds or calling things in. It's about claiming authority over self, space, and energy. I arrive already decided. No questions follow me in. I don't adjust my shape. I let the room bend. I move when I choose. I pause because I can. Nothing here owns me. Nothing here commands. I choose myself. Without delay, without need, without sway. I choose myself in silence and control, in my own way. I don't rush what listens. I don't chase what flees. What belongs near me already knows how to be. I don't compete for attention. I don't explain my ground. If it doesn't hold steady, I don't keep it around. I choose myself, unmoved, unowned, intact. I choose myself before demand, before desire, before collapse. I'm not waiting. I choose myself. I choose myself. I choose. I choose myself.